My name is Tiffany, Tiffany Barnett. I grew up on the Navajo Reservation. I grew up in Wheatfields, and I think it was about the age of 9 where or 8 or 9, around that area. That's where one evening I did see my Nolly lady. She had quite a few cars at her house, and I was curious, thinking maybe it was a birthday party. And because we all get together, my family live close together in Saley, and so I have a lot of cousins, so I thought it would be a good time to play. I did go over, and they weren't having a birthday party. They were having service, and that's when I first met Brother Mark Haynes and his family. They were different. They had kids, which was nice because I got to make friends. And I did sit in the service, and I listened. And at that time, I did go to a Catholic church with my grandpa. My family practiced Catholic and also tradition, and so I went with my grandpa. I was close with my grandparents on my mom's side, and I started going to their service back and forth. I was going to the Baptist church, and then I was going also with my grandpa, and I started to learn more about God. I started to learn more about Christ, and there was just something different about the family, about Brother Mark and his family, Mrs. Haynes, and even so, there were times where I did spend a night. They allowed me to, and they were happy at home. They had a relationship with their kids, and I never saw that. I grew up in a tradition where I was taught that you gotta live in beauty and walk in beauty, but I didn't see a lot of beautiful stuff going on. I've went through things, I've seen things, and it just wasn't so beautiful as Brother Mark Haynes' family. So eventually I kept going to church, and I got saved at the age of 9. Mrs. Haynes led me to the Lord. She took me in the back room, in my Nolly lady's room. She showed me out of the Bible. I can't remember all the things that we said, but I could take you to the place where I accepted Christ. I started to grow. I started to learn more, and I started to learn that Catholic wasn't teaching what they were teaching. I never knew that Christ died for me. I never knew that he loved me. All I knew was Mass and all that stuff. Then there was a time I knew I couldn't go with my grandfather anymore. And that kind of hurt. But I made the choice to start going to the Baptist church. And there were times where I had to go by myself, or ask Brother Mark if they could pick me up. And they invested so much in me. They prayed for me, and they even showed me when things that I did wrong, why it was wrong. And they took me and showed me the Bible, and why we believe what we believe, and why we don't do some things, and why we should do some things. And I just never had that. If we ask questions about tradition, sometimes I always got, it's just because. You don't ask questions. And they live in fear. And if they wanted a prayer done, you had to pay for prayer from a medicine man. And it was a lot. But Brother Mark never asked for money when we asked him to pray for our family. They never asked for a dinner or anything like that. They just prayed for us. And eventually, I started to, God has kept speaking to me, and the Lord started convicting, I started making decisions. And it was hard. It was, because there was really nobody to hold me to that in my family. And I surrendered to go to Bible college, and even though I had family that were against Bible college, I went, and that's where I met my husband. I have no regrets, even though it was hard. Sometimes I have no regrets because he never left me alone. Because he loved me, and all that I have right now is a good husband. Growing up, I didn't see a stable marriage. I didn't think that was possible for me. But I have a husband, I have children, and he's using us in serving, where we have a church in Indian Wells. And I have no regrets of giving my life to him. And I just pray that one day that my family will see the same.